Right now at 6 on Connecticut's news station, a tenants union is fighting back after more than a dozen people got eviction notices, and their deadline to move out is quickly approaching.
And an update this morning on the death of a Connecticut native at the University of South Carolina. Why police say they will not file charges against the person who shot the student.
Also, Idalia is now moving away from the Carolinas after hitting Florida head on around this time yesterday morning. We'll take a look at just how bad the damage is.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Thanks for choosing the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Erica Arias.
I'm Tim Lammers. Yes, as of right now, Idalia has been downgraded to a tropical storm after hitting Florida initially as a Category 3 hurricane and then hitting Georgia and the coast of the Carolinas. I'll show you some video from the Cedar Key, Florida Fire Department yesterday as Idalia made landfall. This is really not too far from the epicenter of the storm. It's about 50 miles southeast of Gainesville, Florida. Water from the sea rose as high as 9 feet, ending up on the streets where firefighters had to rescue more than 75 people due to the high standing water. Wow. And
for the very latest, we're checking in, of course, with meteorologist Matt Scott.
Always stunning video to see, how just to marvel at how strong a storm like that can be. Glad, for the most part, injuries, fatalities kept to a minimum. There were some. We'll go into that later on this half hour. Let's talk about the weather around here. The dew points have dropped. It is very comfortable outside. Comfortable stretch of sunshine taking over, and the holiday weekend looking fantastic. Radar picture is quiet. Not looking for that to change. There is a breeze out there out of the north and west. You'll be feeling that all morning long. But look at these pictures. Looking good. 64 in Hartford, 66 in New Haven, the rest of the board. Down to 58 in Torrington and Willimantic, 57 in Putnam. Tomorrow morning at this time, going to be even lower than that. So at the bus stop this hour for the high schoolers, 62. A few clouds out there, but lots of sunshine as the kids get off the bus later on in the afternoon, with cooler highs in the 70s. We'll talk about how it looks for the weekend, the holiday weekend. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Let's go to the roads right now. Good morning, Symphony Privet.
Hey, good morning to you. Let's check out how the morning commute is shaping up on this Thursday. So far, so good. No accidents to report. Let's get you up to speed on the Hartford drive times now. Smooth sailing on 91 and 84 this morning. Taking a look at the capital city as folks make their way in and out of the capital city. Down in New Haven, no holdups on 95 or 91 this morning. The traffic, whoa, they moved the camera on us. We're looking at a pole, but traffic flowing just fine out there in New Haven. Down in Fairfield County, smooth sailing on 95 south and north, as well as Route 15. Let's wrap with a live look in Westport this morning. Drive safely. Make sure you look out for the little ones at the bus stop this morning.
Okay, thank you so much, Symphony. We appreciate it. Well, tenants of a New Haven apartment complex are fighting back against some eviction notices left on their doors. Their union believes these evictions are retaliatory because they were raising concerns about the rent.
Well, now time's running out to keep those people in their homes. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in New Haven now, where union members held a rally last night. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning to you both. Those union members and those tenants ended up coming out here to City Hall really by the dozens. They say that they just want to be heard because right now they say that they're being forced out of their home and they're not even exactly sure why. The 16 Blake Street apartment tenants say that their landlord gave them eviction notices earlier this month, really only about 2 weeks ago now, asking them to be out by tomorrow. We spoke to many of those tenants in attendance at last night's rally. They say they always pay their rent on time and they never cause any issues. They tell us that they weren't given a reason as to why they have to leave. The tenants union says it believes the eviction notices went to the residents who questioned a recent steep rent increase. There's now a hearing set for September 12th to discuss those evictions. We have reached out to the landlord, Ocean Management, for answers to our questions, but we've not yet received a reply. The landlord, however, did put out a statement last week saying it met with the union 3 times and they did try to negotiate. Some of the union members say they will fight these evictions for as long as they can.
We need to put pressure on Ocean, but we also need to think about the broader tenant landscape here. I want to encourage other tenants to do what we're doing, to not be afraid and stand together, because really in this housing market, that's people's best option.
And those 16 tenants have until tomorrow to be out of their apartments. And we're, of course, going to follow this story today and tomorrow, follow it every step of the way. And we'll let you know if any updates happen. Live in New Haven, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Brooke, thanks so much for the update. We'll check back. Well, meantime, at 6:05, an update for you this morning. Authorities in South Carolina say the shooting of a student who grew up in Madison, Connecticut was justified. Columbia police say that they are not going to file charges in this case. 24-year-old Nicholas D'Onofrio was shot and killed on a front porch in Columbia, South Carolina, just before 2 Saturday morning. Investigators believe D'Onofrio may have mistaken that home for his own. Police are citing a South Carolina law that allows someone to use deadly force if it's warranted.
Under South Carolina law, there's a presumption that using deadly force is justified if someone's unlawfully trying to enter a residence. And if you can show that, then you are immune both from criminal prosecution and from civil liability.
Well, Connecticut has a similar law, but there's a major difference. Here, you have to reasonably prove that your life was in danger. The law also allows criminal and civil lawsuits. Investigators are awaiting a toxicology report to determine if D'Onofrio was impaired at the time of the shooting.
A Hartford father is due in court today after his 6-year-old son accidentally shot himself in the hand. Cameron West has been charged with risk of injury to a child. Police said the shooting happened at a home on Martin Street last week. Now, investigators said the boy found the gun while he was playing outside, then brought the gun into his home and fired it. The child did survive. One of 2 men accused in a deadly shooting in Waterbury is scheduled to be arraigned today. Ronald Scott was arrested earlier this month. Police said he and James Davis shot and killed 17-year-old Maki Mazon in the chest on Newport Drive back in July, and Mazon eventually died on August 8th. Scott is being held on a $5 million bond. The Derby alderman and mayoral candidate who's facing January 6th charges has asked a judge for a speedy trial. Gino D Giovanni Jr. appeared for a virtual hearing yesterday, and his lawyer said they're ready for trial because they knew these charges were coming for almost a year. As for those charges, prosecutors said D Giovanni made his way into the Capitol building during the riots, and he's been charged with 4 misdemeanors.
A former Bridgeport City Councilwoman could be voted back into office while also facing criminal charges. Anita Martinez is accused of illegally opening the Keystone Club during the pandemic. And that's where a 21-year-old was shot multiple times and then stumbled out of the bar and was then hit and killed by a car. She is set to go to trial in December for illegal liquor sales and reckless endangerment. Her only opponent, Harry Carrillo, just dropped out after people questioned whether he even lived in the district. Some residents are calling for Martinez to drop out as well. Now, we're closely covering the upcoming primary all across the state, less than 2 weeks away now, September 12th. For all your election 2023 information, from who's running to everything you need to know as a voter, keep tuning into Fox 61 and find out more on our free Fox 61 News app or the Fox 61 website.
Well, the North Haven community is paying its final respects to Lieutenant Anthony DeSimone today.
The firefighter and EMT died last week after suffering a medical emergency. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is live in North Haven now, where services are scheduled this morning. Lindsay.
Hi, good morning. The entire North Haven Fire Department will be at this morning's procession and funeral to say their final goodbyes and honor the life of Lieutenant Anthony DeSimone. He was a 23-year veteran of the North Haven Fire Department. He died on Thursday at just 50 years old. Fire officials say he had a medical emergency when he returned home from work. He had worked a 38-hour continuous shift. He collapsed and his family called 911. Fire officials say he was pronounced dead at the hospital. DeSimone was promoted to lieutenant after his death, a title he was working towards for months. Today, the North Haven Fire Department and the community are coming together to lay him to rest. The funeral is set for 10 o'clock this morning at St. Elizabeth of the Trinity Parish at St. Therese Church. A procession of first responders and family members will be driving around town to then arrive at the church this morning. DeSimone leaves behind his wife and 2 children. He was also close with fallen North Haven firefighter Matthias Wirtz, who died in December. DeSimone carried the urn during his funeral. Now, other nearby towns are covering the North Haven Fire Department this morning, so all North Haven firefighters can attend this morning's service. Again, that's set for 10 o'clock this morning. Live in North Haven, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.